I arrived in Shanghai in 2001, in July. At first it was quite a shocking experience. Every day, see something that kind of blew my mind. But I grew to love it, and I grew to see a beauty there, and I grew to love the people, and the energy, and the challenge, and the speed, the radical transformation. I'm a designer, and it made me realize that all the problems that we face as humans manifest here in extremely provocative ways. And the only way that we can really get into this and get involved is together. Manzini talks about shared vision, and I think that in the case of China and the rest of the world, that's what we need. And so I decided to try and create these collaborative spaces where young people, young designers, young artists, coders, architects could get together and try and work on some of these problems of the city in particular. It was easier said than done. Many things got in the way. Our respective histories, colonialism, our cultures, different ways of thinking and being. My naivety, I guess. But I persisted. When I came back to Australia, it took quite a lot of convincing people that this was important. But gradually, as the economic picture became clearer to people here, it was easier to put these projects together. I started online in the first instance. I'd always been interested in online education. But it wasn't really that successful, and I came to realize that the face-to-face encounter was where it's at. That's where real transformation can happen, on a personal level. That's where the difference can be made. There's a moment in every studio when the students meet. It's quite profound, the energy that explodes out of this. It's such a buzz. Watching these people who know nothing about each other in so many ways discover that their similarities far outweigh their differences. It's exciting. It's kind of an electric moment, in fact. Sure, there are language issues and challenges. Young Chinese people are actually incredibly bilingual, so that certainly helps. And they find ways to communicate through sketches, photography, other ways of communicating, emphasizing different faculties that bring their multiple realities together so they can begin working on that shared vision.
Translators are not necessary because we are all the students studying in design and art, so we can understand each other well. And sometimes translators can't understand the meaning and the logical of art and design.
A lot of the burden of communicating ideas lies very strongly on one half of our partnership, and I was thinking the other day that having managed to do this from like in two languages, what our relationship would be like if we both were, like if our first language was the same language, whether it would be even more amazing, or whether part of the interest of it is that we have to work so hard to communicate and that things come from that, you know what I mean?
Blow drying it with a hair dryer. Kind of worked.
What's been particularly rewarding and moving even is the transformation I've witnessed in young students from the experience of immersion into a completely new culture to them, really, and one that they've been misled about to a large degree. A lot of them come with preconceptions. They're in fact not really based in any reality, but they have opinions that have been formed through mediated communications that represent vested interests, political, commercial, cultural, and it's great to be able to see these barriers broken down. Some of the works that have been produced have been astounding. There's been a lot of emotion expressed in many of the pieces that students have produced. And for me personally, it's an inevitably emotional experience seeing these transformations and being able to be so honored as to, be the facilitator of them, I guess. Now, it's a process of de-othering in many instances. And that process is underpinned, in a professional kind of context, through this interdisciplinary and transcultural framework that I've developed through these programs. It's something that's evolved over time, and my own insight into what I'm even doing has evolved and deepened. So now I have a kind of theoretical kind of basis for what I'm doing, but at the outset it wasn't like that at all. It was quite an emotional, direct kind of response to what I'd witnessed and what I could see when I put together what I was seeing and what I knew from my previous life. I think that collaboration is absolutely core to what I'm doing, and it's core to our shared futures. We just don't seem to be able to get our head around that. The nature of what I'm trying to achieve is changing as well, and my research is starting to focus on the mediated urban environment, and this is a direction that I think I'm going to pursue in combination with the wonderful potential that bringing these young people together holds. Collaboration is core to all of this. I haven't been able to do this by myself. Collaboration is inherent to my practice, and it's inherent to these projects that I'm talking about. So many people have been involved now over the years, and this really brings me to the point about relationships. This is fundamentally about developing human relationships, people-to-people relationships, to enable collaboration, to enable shared vision. So I'm grateful to everyone who's been a part of this journey and who will be a part of this journey into the future.